Yeah, I remember finishing the first movie, and a mate of mine who was in Hollywood, who was a player in Hollywood, he goes, dude, I've heard not very good things about the movie. You really should book something else before it comes out. So there was about a 4-month gap. He goes, just make sure you got something else, because when it comes out, you're back down the bottom of the pile again, you know. Happily, he was wrong, but I mean, no one really knew. There was no comic book genre. There was, you know, comic book movies were really not around at the time. And
what year is that?
2000. When it came out?
Yeah, that's very close to
well, then
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man came out 2 years later.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige
right.
was the assistant to the producer on the movie.
Funny.
And I remember going into his office, and it was literally like walking into a comic store. There was action figures and posters and comic books everywhere, and he was right into it. And of course, now he's running Marvel. But I had no idea it'd be 17 years. And then I think with this one, honestly, what happened was I had a dinner with Jerry Seinfeld, who's a friend of mine. I was asking him about the end of the series. I said, how did you decide? And long story, he kind of said, look, I've always believed creatively you should never spend everything creatively, because it's almost Herculean to start up again. You should always have something in the tank. Leave the party before it gets too late kind of theory. And then somehow it spurs you into the next thing. And as he was talking, I went home and I said to Deb, on my way home in a cab, I said, this is the last one. She goes, what? And I said, I just know this is the last one. And I woke up the next morning with this very strong idea, which Jim Mangold and I have been working on, of treating it not like a comic book movie in any way, treating him not like a superhero, but as a human being, you know, who's lived a life of violence, and let's make a movie about the ramifications of violence. And I was thinking The Wrestler, I was thinking Unforgiven, that kind of thing. And the moment I'd had that thought, I was supercharged, super excited, absolutely sure I wouldn't play it again, and very nervous, because it's 17 years. I mean, you're a theatre man like me. It's like at the end of a long run, you really want your last show to be the best. Like you don't want to finish on a bad note.
That's true.
And it wasn't until I saw the premiere in Berlin, and literally at the end, I cried. And it was gratitude to Jim Mangold, who pulled off something I'll forever be in debt to him. 17-year journey, and also just actually seeing on screen what I'd held in my head and heart as a possibility for the character.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story.